Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I'd like to continue with the Dutch ration and take a look at the lunch and dinner. So let's get these on a tray and see what they look and taste like. Welcome back to part 2 of this Dutch 24-hour ration. And to save a little time, I've already got what I consider the lunch components out on a tray. And I thought for lunch from this 24-hour pack, I thought I'd have a drinking chocolate or cocoa beverage base, a coffee, there is what I believe is a mustard soup. Never tried a mustard soup before. I thought for the mains I'd have the lasagna. I've got some of the biscuits brown left, and I thought we'd have a look at the Mexican chili bean pate. And for a bit of sweetness, I've tried some of the biscuits fruit. I've also got the salt and pepper and hot flakes on standby just in case. So I have 3 hot drinks to make, so I'm going to start there. And the first one is I'm going to start with the drinking chocolate, the cocoa beverage powder, and feel like a very large pack of cocoa there. Plenty of contents, and it's just a sort of standard drinking chocolate that we're all used to now. And I'll bring back in again the US MRE spoon, because as we said in breakfast, there was no utensils or cutlery with this ration. We'll give that about 3/4 of a mug, because there was a lot there, a lot of powder. And I'll just rinse the spoon, and then we'll get straight on to the coffee, and it just says instant coffee freeze dried. The coffee in the next one. Of course I could have put the coffee straight into the chocolate and made a mocha, but I do actually want to try the coffee as it is, and we'll add the sugar and the creamer, very small packets, it takes a little time to get all the contents out, and again top them off about 1/2 cup of boiling water. Rinse the spoon again, and back to the what I believe is mustard soup. Well, that is what the translators led me to believe. I've never tried a mustard soup. I have no idea what that actually entails. Just try and open it carefully so I don't spill it. And again, looks very much like a typical cup of soup, instant soup. And one more time, I'll just give that about 1/2 mug of hot water. Very unusual smell. There is some croutons in there. For a moment I just thought it wasn't mixing, but it looks like there's some croutons in there. And again, just will rinse the spoon. So I have pre-warmed the mains. I've boiled it for about 8 to 10 minutes, so it's very hot. So let's have a look at this lasagna. Hopefully the lid removes nice and easily. Oh, as always, very, very hot. Burning my hands. Very nice looking lasagna. I think that is the white sauce on the top there. I think it's for the fruit pudding. I thought I'll bring back in the world's smallest knife from part 1, And as you can see, it does the job very nicely. Move that out of the way, bit of a dangerous implement there. Should have gone all the way across instead of just half of it. So these are a little bit battle damaged. They do look and smell, again, very much like the biscuits fruit in the British ORP. Just got a couple out there. They've got that strong cinnamon smell. They do look a bit damaged. Move those out of the way. And of course, got one or two of the biscuits brown left from breakfast. I'll take a couple of those out. And last but not least, we have a Mexican chili bean pate. Again, another new one on me. I've never had a chili bean pate. Obviously, I would think it's a vegetarian pate. Quite a strong, potent smell coming from there of chili or jalapeno style smell. So, where do we start? I think I'll start where I always do. I'm back with the drinks. This is the drinking chocolate or beverage cocoa powder. Oh, very nice, very rich. I think the manufacturer is probably shared with a lot of the British ORP. I think this is very, very reminiscent of the British ORP drinking chocolate, which I think is some of the best in any ration. This is almost identical, probably made by the same company. Very rich, strong, comforting, sweet chocolate. Could put far more water in than I have there. I think it'd be worth filling the cup to the top. Very, very nice. Now we'll try the coffee. It's quite bitter. Even with a sugar, it's still got some bitterness. But that said, it's a very decent attempt again at a coffee. A nice, slightly bitter instant coffee. I think without sugar it'll have quite a bitter taste, but the sugar's taken some of that off. But a very drinkable, warm, comforting, familiar flavoured coffee. Now, mustard soup. I'll just give that another little stir. It looks like it's got some floaties on the top. Some little croutons. Interesting flavour. It's very difficult to describe. It's like a cream of vegetable style soup with a hint of mustard flavour. It's very similar to, I would say, an instant soup where some yellow mustard has just been stirred into it. That is the best way of describing. Surprisingly pleasant. Unexpected and surprisingly pleasant. I wasn't expecting that. I thought a mustard soup wouldn't be quite as tasty as that. So let's have a look at this lasagna. Now there's a cream sauce on top. There is plenty of tomato sauce. I think there are ground beef in there. Plenty of pasta, pasta sheets. I was trying to think of the word there. Wow. Strong smell of tomato, taste of tomato, onion, quite bland. Plenty of pepper. There's a little bit of bitterness from those tomatoes. Probably could do with a little bit of extra salt. Maybe even a touch of sugar. I don't know if anyone else out there but when I'm cooking a tomato base sauce, sometimes the tomatoes are a little bit sour. I do actually add a little bit of sugar to that sauce and it just takes that sourness away. But very enjoyable, very filling, slightly tomato sour, but very enjoyable lasagna dish. I think I'll try some of these hot chili flakes before I try any salt to see if that actually does the required lift. Gives it that big. That seems to be a little bit damp and compromised. Doesn't want to come out much. I think that's actually taken on water and it's become, I don't know if you can see, try and read what it says. It says chili sauce, so maybe it was meant to be that way. I was expecting a flakes. I've just read the small print. It does say chili sauce, so I'm going to add it and see. Quite a kick. That improves things tremendously. I think it's gone a little bit dry, a little bit past its best. I think it was originally a moist chili sauce. Mine that's out of the way. And we'll have a look at this Mexican chili bean pate. Just clean a spoon there. Soft, moist pate. Let's have a little taste of that. That's got quite a kick, quite a little background kick. That chili is coming through nicely. Try that on a cracker. Goes well with a cracker, but personally I think that is the lift that the lasagna could do with a little bit of that. I think that is the best way. The Mexican chili bean pate, it is like beans, refried beans with chili hit. It does mix exceptionally well and gives this slightly bland tomato lasagna a much needed kick. Wow. After the review, all of that pate is going in the lasagna. Very nice. We'll have a look at the biscuits fruit. These are very much looking like the British ORP biscuits fruit. Crispy, sweet, cinnamon, very nice sweet. Would also make a great dunking biscuit. Dunk some in the coffee there. Wow, excellent, isn't it? Dunking biscuit. Try it in the chocolate. Nice thick chocolatey coating. Even better. Great, sweet, crisp, cinnamon, little bits of dried fruit in there. Very nice, very sweet bit of dessert. So, didn't quite need the salt and pepper. The chili bean paste, or the Mexican chili bean paste, did the job. I shall save this for the dinner component. So, brief recap. Chocolate, thick, rich, chocolatey. Could fill this mug to the top with water and still be a very decent drinking chocolate. Very good quality. The coffee, nice, comforting, slightly bitter even with the sugar, but a very good attempt at an instant coffee. Very nice coffee. Surprise is the mustard soup. Cream of vegetable soup with a good squirt of yellow mustard stirred in. That's the sort of flavour I can describe. But surprisingly, for me, surprisingly, a very tasty soup. Lasagna. Very filling, very rich, very good quality. For me, the tomato was slightly sour, a little bit of sugar. If I was making this, I'd add a little bit of sugar to take that sourness away, but it's still very decent lasagna. The addition of the spicy Mexican chili bean pate just lifted it, just gave it the much needed lift, and that is certainly the way to eat that pate. Biscuits brown, or the biscuits brown as seen in the breakfast. Dark biscuit, a lot of wheat germ, wholemeal, very nice, slightly salted, slightly sweet. And the biscuits fruit, an old favourite, sweet, high flavour of cinnamon, very nice, good quality dipping biscuit, or enjoyable on its own. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to finish this. It's a most enjoyable lunch. I'm going to finish all of this. And please join me back for the dinner component coming in a few minutes. Bye for now. Welcome back to this final part and the dinner portion of this Dutch 24-hour ration. And for dinner I thought I would have a look at the sweet peanuts, the bouillon. I think I'm going to have the chili con carne, which I've already preheated and cracked to save any explosions. We'll have some more of the biscuits brown with a pate, and I think this one is the traditional sort of liver style pate. Some more biscuits fruit with the jam and a fruit tea. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with the beverages like I always do, and this is a fruit tea, and it's the standard sort of little tea bag. So we'll get that started, and we'll just add a little bit of hot water to that, and we'll give it about half a cup. Just move that around a little bit. Okay, that'll do its thing. Then we'll take a look at this beef bouillon. It's a standard sort of bouillon or stock cube sort of powder there. I'll bring in the trusty old US MRE spoon to give this a bit of a stir. Again, about half a cup, half a mug. Let's give the spoon a little rinse. We'll open these, what I think are sweet peanuts. So let's bring in the world's smallest knife, as seen in the other two parts. That did cut, but I sort of came off at the top there. Nice peanutty, looks like it's a roasted peanuts. These are the biscuits brown left over from the previous meals. So I'll have one or two of those with the pate. Let's open this pate. I think this is a regular style sort of pate. Certainly looks like a standard pate there. And for the bit of sweetness, and back to the biscuits fruit, the cinnamon biscuits fruit, which are still quite badly broken. So I'll just take a couple of those out, and with those we'll have a look at this jam, which I think is jam. Certainly looks like a fruit jam there. Okay. Obviously I have my salt and pepper on standby if needed, and I think it's time now to crack open the chili con carne. Now this is very hot again. I do keep burning myself on these things, and hopefully it opens without too much of a problem. Again, exceedingly hot. Oh, burning myself. There we go. So, a nice sort of standard chili there. Let's give that a bit of a mix round. Looks like it's separated slightly from being warmed. Okay, so let's also now remove this tea bag or fruit tea bag, and I'll bring in a Russian spoon just to give that a little stir. Okay, so starting with the fruit tea. So it looks like it's red in colour, a dark deep red. Nice smell of red style berries. Very sharp, very bitter. It's like a sour berry flavour to it. There's definitely a taste of raspberry in there. You can actually taste raspberry. Personally, I think this would benefit from a little sugar, one of the sugar sticks. I don't have any with me at the moment, but with a sugar stick, a very nice, decent fruit tea. A little bit sour without the sugar. This is the beef bouillon. Standard, regular style sort of beef bouillon, beef cube, beef stock cube flavour that most people will be familiar with. Nice, warming, comforting, beefy drink. As always, slightly on the salty side, but all those bouillon stock cube style drinks usually are. So where shall I start? I think I'm going to start straight with the chili. Now a nice mix of red kidney beans there. I can see ground minced beef. Standard sort of chili smell coming from that. The beans are a little bit overcooked. They're very, very soft and soggy. As soon as you put them in your mouth, they just sort of squash on the roof of your mouth. A little bit too overcooked in my opinion. The chili, very much in the background. Could actually do with some chili sauce or some chili flakes. It's not actually a very flavourful chili in my opinion. I'm going to add the pepper and probably the salt, which is unusual for these ready-made sort of canned tin style meals. I'm going to put the whole pack of pepper, and I'm also going to add, in this case, a little bit of the salt, probably about half the salt. Give that a stir around. One or two pepper flakes on the spoon there. Certainly needed the salt and pepper lift. The chili is very lacking, very lacking in the background. Certainly should do with more chili than that. It's warming, it's comforting, overcooked. The beans are almost to the point of being slimy when you bite them, but in the field, cold day, it's not something you would certainly reject. It's just not cooked to the best standard. Let's try a little bit with the cracker. As always, nice base, extra calorie increasing background. Bit of crunch. Alright, moving on, we'll take a look at this pate. Quite smooth, easy to spread. Salty, flavourful, liver in the background. I think it's a pork flavour, which is the most powering, which is nice. Not overpowering with liver. It's certainly there in the background, so the non-liver lovers would probably still enjoy this. Again, on the cracker, a great extra calorie enhancer, but it is a standard pork style pate with the hint of liver, not overly over salted. Obviously all of these things do have a large amount of salt, but it's not in your face overly salted. Very nice, pleasant pate. Let's go to this bouillon drink again just to clear my palate. It's a very nice, enjoyable beef drink. I think I'll try the peanuts before I go to the jam. So the peanuts look like they're roasted. There is a coating on there, crispy, crunchy looking coating. Certainly sweet. The coating has a slight flavour, very slight flavour of the barbecue style peanuts you get in these rations, but it's in the background. But you do feel that it is caramelised sugar, crystallised sugar. For me, we don't tend to have sweet peanuts in the UK, so this is quite a nice new, and it's a pleasing new flavour. Sweetened peanuts, very enjoyable, very crunchy, very crispy. Even though this whole ration is a year out of date, it doesn't reflect on the peanuts. Very nice, sweet peanuts. And last but not least, we'll have a look at this jam. We'll bring back in the fruit biscuits that we've seen in the lunch to help with this. So soft, spreadable, doesn't feel like it's overly artificially set. Wow, very nice, very sweet, mixed fruit, there's mixed berries style jam. On the cinnamon biscuit, a really nice, exceptionally sweet, tasty after dinner bit of sweetness or pudding. I think the fruit tea would be best to cleanse the palate for that one. Oh, sharp contrast. Bitter, sweet, very sharp contrast between the two. I would put a sugar stick in this and it would bring it up to a very nice, enjoyable fruit tea. So, recap. Fruit tea, as I've just said, slightly bitter, fruity, certainly a taste of raspberry in there. A stick of sugar from the spare pack would really enhance that. The beef bouillon, standard beef bouillon stock cube type drink, very flavoursome, very meaty, very comforting. Slightly let down with the chilli, overly cooked, massively overly cooked. The beans are just on the border of being sloppy. The chili is really in the background, could really do some more heat, some more spice, a bit of hot sauce, a bit of Tabasco, something along those lines. And it needed salt and pepper, in my opinion. Very underwhelming in the seasoning. That said, it isn't unpleasant, it's just uninspiring, and you'd still welcome it on a cold winter's night. Just the flavour is just a little bit lacking. The pate, typical style pork and liver pate. It's smooth, it's very creamy, not overly salted, a nice enjoyable pate. Both biscuits I've seen and spoke about in the other two ration show parts. And the jam, very nice, sweet, multi-berry jam, nice and soft, not overly set. You don't feel like it's set artificially, but it's a very, very sweet. There's certainly a lot of sugar content in that jam. And for me, the totally new taste is the sweet peanuts. Surprisingly good. The shell gives you the impression it is a caramelized sugar, so sugar or syrup has been put on there. They've been baked. There is also a slight flavour of the dry roasted peanut in the background. So overall, a very nice, enjoyable 24-hour ration. There was nothing in there that I disliked. Only this chili con carne was slightly under par in the seasoning, but again, still perfectly enjoyable. And in the pack, I still have plenty of leftovers. I still have an extra pack of biscuits, dextrose tablets, cocoa powders, sugars, and a whole host of accessories, coffees left in there. So, very enjoyable, very nice and filling 24-hour ration. So I'm going to leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.